Hello lovely people and welcome back to my YouTube channel. How's everyone doing today? My name is Maya. If you've never been here before, then welcome. And today we're going to be talking about books. I love books. And if you don't know, I'm currently doing this Savvy Reader 50 book pledge / 25 for me because I can't do that. I can't read 50 books in a year. That's like a book a week, guys. That's hard. So instead, I've challenged myself to read 25 books this year, and I just kind of wanted to give you guys a sneak peek at the books I want to check out for the rest of 2018. And there's only like 4 months left. How crazy is that? So I'm just gonna give you like a little synopsis and tell you about the books I'm reading. I'll leave them all linked down below. I'll also leave my video linked up here for the first 2 books I read, as well as my blog post linked down below about all of my reviews of the last books that I have read. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the first book that I have, my tips are in here from work. The first book that I have, which I am reading currently, is called The Black K Klansman. If you've heard of this, it's probably because they're making a movie about it. It's actually out currently. So I'm just gonna read you the synopsis on the back, but it is a true story. So when Ron Stallworth, the first black detective in the history of Colorado Springs Police Department, comes across a classified ad in the local paper recruiting for the Ku Klux Klan, he responds with interest using his real name while posing as a white man. The decision launches what is surely one of the most audacious and incredible undercover investigations in history. Detective Stallworth sabotages cross burnings, exposes white supremacists in the military, and even fools David Duke himself. Black Klansman is an amazing real-life account that reads like a crime thriller, one that offers a searing portrait of divided America and the heroic citizens who dare fight back. This book has opened my eyes incredibly, and I'm only on like halfway through chapter 3. Like, it's insane. The amount of racism that he's already faced in the book is crazy. And the other thing is that it's set in the 1970s. That's when this took place. Like, what, I don't know if it says here. October 1978. That was not that long ago. And that kind of like, I love history. Like, I know in my head that it wasn't that long ago, but it was kind of like a slap in the face. Like, my parents were already 10 years old when this was taking place. And today we're not that far from it. The Ku Klux Klan is still around, which, can you freaking believe that? What the heck? Anyway, so far, so good. I'm really enjoying this book, and I can't wait to see the movie when I am done. Book number 2. This book I'm so freaking excited for, and the only reason I read The Black Klansman first was because it's a little bit shorter, and I had to get a book done because the last one that I read took me forever. And I'm not going to talk about it because it's not worth reading. And it is Catcher by Kayla Nicholson. If you've watched me, like, at all, you know that I'm freaking in love with Kayla Nicholson. She is a beautiful, amazing human being, and I ordered her book the day it came out, and I'm so excited for this. I'll read you the synopsis, but like, even look at just the beautiful cover. Like, look how beautiful it is. And it's just such her aesthetic. Anyway, so here is the synopsis. Ever since the day her baby brother Axel died, Carson has been dreaming of the same boy, the one who told her it wasn't her time to go when her family's lift crashed through a bridge railing and sank to the bottom of a river, shattering her life forever. Trapped by the new divide between her and her parents and by their drastic measures to shelter the only child they have left, Carson escapes into her dreams every night, floating among the clouds with the gray-eyed boy who saved her. Until her 18th birthday, when fate sends her family home up in flames, leaving her waking world flipped upside down. Suddenly, Carson finds herself on the other side of the country in the big city of Tarragon, alone for the first time in her life, and dropped into the only waking dream she's ever had, to attend Yorker Specialty School. But sinister forces are at work beneath the surface of her world, and as the gray-eyed boy slips away from her dreams, only to be replaced by a nightmare of flame, Carson finds herself engulfed by a world of deadly secrets and haunting shadows, one that makes her the key player in the ultimate game of things. This book is available on Amazon. I will link it down below. Go check Kayla out. I cannot wait to read this. September, the first book I'm gonna read. The next book that I want to read is The Darkest Minds, book 1. So there are 3 books in this series. Oh, there are 5. Okay, The Darkest Minds Never Fade In the Afterlight, Through the Dark, and The Darkest Legacy. So, I recently saw this movie, and there's honestly a blog post I'm just gonna link down below because it sums up all of my feelings, but literally, like, go check it out. Like, watch the movie. It's just amazing. And the ad campaign is amazing. So anyway, I hadn't read the book. I hadn't even known there was a book. I didn't even know there were five books. So, pick this up at chapters, and I'm gonna read you the back. Okay, Ruby Daly is one of the dangerous ones. She might have survived the mysterious disease that killed most of America's children, but she and the others sent to brutal government rehabilitation camps emerged with something far worse, frightening abilities they cannot control. But when the truth about Ruby's abilities, the truth she's hidden from everyone, even the authorities, comes out, Ruby barely escapes with her life. On the run, she joins a group of teens who have escaped their own camp. Zoo, a young girl haunted by her past, Chubbs, a standoffish genius, and Liam, their fearless leader who is falling hard for Ruby. While they journey to find the one safe haven that's left for people like them, East River, they must evade their determined pursuers, including an organization that will stop at nothing to use Ruby in their fight against the government. But as they get closer to grasping the things they've dreamed of, Ruby will be faced with an impossible choice, one that could spark a revolution. Basically, it's like a cross between like Divergent, Maze Runner, Hunger Games kind of thing, and like a sci-fi X-Men kind of thing, which are like my favorite things. So definitely check this out. And this one comes with pictures from the movie. Also, if you have seen the movie or you've seen the movie, let me know what you think of Liam, because I've heard really mixed reviews about him, and I think that he is a dreamy AF, and I'd tap that. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Anyway, moving on. So the next book I want to talk about, which is the last one I have as a like copy in my hand, and the other two I'm just going to talk about in an insert picture, is Thunderhead. So I read the first book in this series, Scythe. Again, you can check out the blog post down below for my review on that. Basically, I freaking loved it. And here is the sequel. So, yeah, I guess I'll read you what's in here. But the series is called Arc of the Scythe, and it is written by Neil Schusterman. So I would honestly say, like, check it out. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but my aunt recommended it to me, and I love it a lot. So the only reason I haven't started this one either is because it is 504 pages, and your girl can't read that fast. So, here's the premise. The Thunderhead is the perfect ruler of a perfect world, but it has no control over the Scythedom. A year has passed since Rowan has gone off-grid. Since then, he has become an urban legend, a vigilante snuffing out corrupt scythes in trial by fire. His story is told in whispers across the continent. As Scythe Anastasia, Citra gleams with compassion and openly challenges the ideas of the New Order. But when life is threatened and her methods questioned, it becomes clear that not everyone is as open to change. In the thrilling sequel to the Prince Honor book Scythe, old foes and new enemies converge, and as corruption within the Scythedom spreads, Rowan and Citra begin to lose hope. Will the Thunderhead intervene, or will it simply watch as its perfect world begins to unravel? So a little bit of backstory on the first book. It is a perfect utopia where the government is the Thunderhead, which is like the cloud, and nobody dies, there is no disease. The only way people are killed is by scythes, whose job it is to kill random people to balance off population and everything like that. And it's the journey of Citra and Rowan to become scythes. And yeah, that's what you're gonna know. So now let's move on to the two books that I do not currently have a hard copy of. So we're gonna start with The Hate You Give, which I really should have read this when it came out, and I didn't. But when I was at the Darkest Minds, I saw the trailer for the movie, and Amanda Stenberg, who is in the Darkest Minds and who is in the Hunger Games, is going to be in it, and it just really like hit home for me, the premise. It is a very, very real life and very real to this current state of the world that we're in. So I'm going to read you the synopsis from my phone. 16-year-old Star Carter moves between two worlds, the poor neighborhood where she lives and the fancy suburban prep school she attends. The uneasy balance between these worlds is shattered when Star witnesses the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend Khalil at the hands of a police officer. Khalil was unarmed. Soon afterward, his death is a national headline. Some are calling him a thug, maybe even a drug dealer and a gangbanger. Protesters are taking to the streets in Khalil's name. Some cops and the local drug lord tried to intimidate Star and her family. What everyone wants to know is what really went down that night, and the only person who is alive can answer that. That doesn't make any sense. That wasn't a real sentence. And the only person alive who can answer that is Star. But what Star does or does not say could upend her community. It could also endanger her life. That's from Goodreads synopsis, and yeah, I really want to check that one out. I think it's a really important book to read for this time of life. So the last book that, where did it go? I want to read that's on my list before the end of 2018 is Crazy Rich Asians. So I went to see Crazy Rich Asians yesterday in the movie theater, and oh my god, like I really liked it. It wasn't the best movie I've ever seen. I won't say Thor Ragnarok. It's not Thor Ragnarok, okay? Just putting it out there, which is one of the best movies I've ever seen. But it was really good, and I really want to read the book. And it's a trilogy, so I really want to know what the other two books are. But first, we'll start off with the first book, because that's generally what you do. So here is the synopsis, and it is by Kevin Kwan. It's trying to make me log in. I don't want to do that. I just want to talk. Okay. Crazy Rich Asians is the outrageously funny debut movie novel about three super rich pedigreed Chinese families and their gossip, backbiting, and scheming that occurs when the heir to one of the most massive fortunes in Asia brings home his ABC, American-born Chinese girlfriend to the wedding of the season. When Rachel Chu agrees to spend the summer in Singapore with her boyfriend Nicholas Young, she envisions a humble family home, long drives to explore the island, and quality time with the man she might one day marry. What she doesn't know is that Nick's family home happens to look like a palace that she'll ride in the most private planes, and that with one of Asia's most eligible bachelors on her arm, Rachel might as well have a target on her back. Initiated into a world of dynastic splendor beyond imagination, Rachel meets Astrid, the it girl of Singapore society, Eddie, whose family practically lives in the pages of the Hong Kong socialite magazines, and Eleanor, Nick's formidable mother, a woman who has very strong feelings about who her son should and should not marry. Uproarious, addicted, and filled with jaw-dropping opulence, Crazy Rich Asians is an insider look at the Asian jet set, a perfect depiction of the clash between old money and new money, between overseas Chinese and mainland Chinese, and a fabulous novel about what it means to be young, in love, and gloriously, crazily rich. So I really enjoyed the portrayal of the movie, and I want to know the book is similar, better, worse. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you think of them down below in the comments. I will also link all of them down below to where you can shop if you want to join me in this, and also the Savvy Reader page that I have so you can see what else I've been reading. And if you have any other books that I should be reading, let me know on Instagram, Twitter, down below, whatever your heart fancies. And with that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, you know the drill, and I'll see you next time. Bye!